What's up, guys? Obviously, this is Martin Luther King's holiday, and 3 days ago was his birthday, and so I wanted to take a moment to talk about his life and his work and civil rights in general. There was a speech after the march from Selma to Montgomery. It ended right here on the Capitol steps, and Dr. King gave an amazing speech right here, a speech that really inspires me and motivates me every single time I hear it.
They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies.
Well, yes, sir. Talk.
But all the world today knows that we are here and we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around.
Now, there's been this notion, the more time that passes from the 60s and from the civil rights movement, there's been this notion getting louder and louder and louder that integration, in retrospect, didn't really do much for African Americans. That we still have a lot of civil rights issues today, and even I've heard some people say that the civil rights movement was a failure when it comes to procuring very specific rights for people of color in America. And I think that statements like that and notions like that would have been absolutely appalling to the people that marched up and down these streets and stood on these steps to hear Dr. King speak. And furthermore, I think that the civil rights movement was never really about segregation. I think that it was about fighting a principle. And that principle is the principle that, and this principle has always existed, that some people are inherently worth less than other people because of things they can't control, because of race, because of gender, because of nationality, and so many other things. And segregation in the 60s was just the way the latest way that principle was showing itself, and the most visible way that it was showing itself. You know, had Dr. King been born in the 19th century, chances are he would have fought slavery. And in the 20th century, he fought segregation. And in the 21st century, today he might fight mass incarceration or the decline of the church or a host of other issues, but it wouldn't be about the slavery. You know, it wouldn't be about the segregation. It wouldn't be about those issues in particular. It would be about tearing down the principle. And so we shouldn't look at civil rights and the battle for human rights as something that's one and done. It's the principle that you're fighting is a continuous one. It's always going to find ways to express itself. As long as, you know, human beings have been around, and probably as long as we're going to be around, it's natural for us to want to put other groups of people down to make ourselves feel bigger than they are. And as long as that instinct exists, the battle will have to keep going on. You know, yesterday it was segregation. Today it might be mass incarceration. You know, yesterday was the Holocaust. It's going to express itself in different ways. And if you're an activist, if you're someone that wants to change the world or whatever it is, you have to ask yourself, just like Dr. King did, how is this principle expressing itself today? And specifically, what can I do to stop it? And furthermore, even if the civil rights movement had been a failure, even if no laws had been passed to end voter suppression, especially armed voter suppression, to end segregation, it would still be a success, and here's why. As an African, I owe a large part of the fact that my country is independent to the civil rights movement. This is something a lot of people don't know. You know, the giants of West African independence, like Nnamdi Azikiwe, like Kwame Nkrumah, they were very friendly with Dr. King. They were very friendly with leaders of the civil rights movement, and there are letters that have been revealed that they wrote to each other. And Dr. King actually attended the inauguration of Nnamdi Azikiwe and the inauguration of Kwame Nkrumah. And so, whatever you're doing, you're providing inspiration to other people, and that's exactly what they did. So this weekend, even as we look back, I want you, as someone who I think is gonna change the future in some way, to look around you. You know, look around you and see where is injustice being done, where are things not right, and how exactly can I make things better? How exactly can I change things? This has been Freestyle Friday number 3. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.